Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with Yamato 48 doing a race around the Goliath circuit on Forza Horizon 3. Carries a little bit too much speed with his BAC mono, runs wide, clips a rock and lands perfectly upside down. Amusingly note the AI car stuck on its roof and then something else goes soaring through the air on the left. You just catch it at the end, but yeah, many vehicles having issues at that part. Zed, Chilled Zed, also on Horizon 3, playing a game of King, just loses the King, goes after the car that stole it from him, and manages to land on a roof. That's an impressive parking job from the from the Willys Jeep. If only it still had the King, that would be an excellent way of being an arse, really, in a game. That's, yeah. Couldn't do that one if you tried. GTG Ultratech on the original Forza Horizon, doing some rallying, runs turns in a smidge too soon, clips the inside wall, launches its Subaru onto its side, and the game doesn't really feel like resetting it. It's happy for the Impreza to carry on, you know, just kind of wiggling and bouncing its way. It does eventually get upset and decide to reset the car. Surprising amount of movement for a vehicle stuck on its side. Red Gliscor 1 on GTA 5 rounds the corner when Bobcat decides that it doesn't really want to be on its wheels anymore. Apparently physics and some incredibly strong cardboard boxes go together to make an interesting arrangement. Yeah, sure, that works somehow. Matt Ponch on GTA 5, racing through the tunnel at Chiliad. Carries too much speed on the exit. We've all done this at some point. Amazingly, pinballing his way around, rolls off a cliff and somehow lands facing the way he meant to do. I've crashed on that corner a number of times, but well saved in all of that. Little Douche on GTA 5, playing a game of sumo, gets a rather unfortunate respawn, or start in fact, to the game. Spawns him under the ocean. However, everything goes a little bit bizarre. As he goes to respawn, the game decides to put him on the beach and then explode his character continuously up towards space. I mean, if FailRace did space programs, this is probably the way that it would go. However, the fact that GTA has randomly decided to do that is bizarre. Yeah, I've not seen that bug before. LM145 deposits some cash with, I assume, a driver of sorts. I don't know if they send it back. I haven't got far enough through Mafia to know what on earth they're doing. I assume they take it back to your safe house or whatever. Either way, I wouldn't entrust my money to them. Yeah. For some reason, we've got very, very confused by a corner. We're struggling to sort of do some turning. So the best idea is just to go backwards and forwards over the side. I think it's a piece of wood on the floor. Yeah, well done. Lunatic Will is racing through the streets of Mafia 3, when on a landing of a small jump, causes his car to do 5 backflips. Almost, I think, would have landed it had there not been a lamppost or whatever it was he hit there. Would have landed it spectacularly. I mean, we have seen some odd flips going on from cars. That is definitely the most impressive. Our magician on the crew is playing around with the police force when they go to pit maneuver the Hummer, miss, and 3 of them end up in the water, and he manages to nudge a 4th, all within the space of about 3 seconds of each other. I mean, that's impressive work. The FailRace Police Department are very, very much in attendance on the crew. Sinking 4 cars. That's just seriously well done. Nexon 777 on driver parallel lines finds another evil bush. It's not just GTA 5 where the evil bushes exist. That is a big launch from a single bush. Xerix on Need for Speed Most Wanted is in a pursuit as he comes out of a sort of shortcut, realizes the roadblock, tries to change direction with a slow-mo. In doing so, gets his car on its side, tries to change direction a little bit too fast, but launches it clear of the roadblock nevertheless. I mean, that's one way. That's one way to get around the police. I very much approve. Mr. Psycho on Flat Out goes for a big tumble for seemingly no reason, having just gone round a corner. I mean, that is admittedly a very flat-out thing to do. With a super slow-mo, there is a small wooden sign. There is a small wooden sign in the road, and that's enough. That's enough to launch car. I mean, we've seen garbage bags. I think it was a Mafia 3 a couple of weeks ago. We saw a garbage bag launch his car. Yeah, it is only now taking. It's not just a full-on curb. It's now just little obstacles, little objects in the road will be enough to launch cars over. Although speaking of curves, the Ravenous Beast on GTR 2 is racing with, I assume, a Yugo mod. as they head around Donington Park. The car behind looks to the inside, changing mind. The blue car, though, does go for a tighter line, clips the curb, and bye-bye to the blue Yugo. That's a big, big wreck on the outside, and it's still breakdancing away in the background. Frumpy Nose 59 on F1 2016 is doing some practice at the Chinese Grand Prix, rounds a corner and spots a very peculiar sight. Yeah, that is a tyre floating in the air. There's no wheel either. I've just realised there is no wheel to that. It is just a tyre. You would expect someone to notice that. There's two marshals there. In fact, the two marshals are looking at the tyre, but no one really seems to care. We're on next to Battlefield 1 with a very close call with an explosion, and then there's a tank. There's a tank on its side, and more impressively, it continues to do its merry dance. That's a roll, and almost goes for a second roll. Something explodes. Amazingly, it gets out of the way of the explosion with a roll and can now carry on. Well done. Well done, tank driver. Finally, we have Joe Ridiculous on My Summer Car, building up the Satsuma. I wondered when we get our My Summer Car videos come into this. Everything is going perfectly normal, goes around to work on the other side of the car, bumps into the front of it, and he goes to space, and the car does about 3 backflips. Yep. That went a little bit wrong than my Summer Car experiences. That's an impressive amount of flips, and then there's just the general, what the bloody hell do I do now? Yeah, that's the Satsuma for you, always trying to murder you in some way. However, that is going to be it for this video. As ever, if you have clips you would like to submit to this series, you can via our forums. There will be a link in the description. At the very top of the forums is the FailRace clip submission section, and in there you can find all of the rules and how to submit them. However, that's going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.